Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
We could get a coronavirus vaccine sooner rather than later. Another major drug maker sends its data to federal regulators, but it won't come in time for the holidays. State line restaurants have been rolling with the punches as local guidelines adapt to keep customers safe. As the year comes to an end, business owners weigh in on how they're holding up. Plus, a local nonprofit teams up with a beloved country singer to put books in young readers' hands. We've got instructions for parents to sign kids up. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Rockford police investigate a couple of shootings that took place over the Thanksgiving weekend. One incident left a man in the hospital. This happened Saturday on Independence Avenue off West Jefferson Street. Officers say they heard shots. When investigators got there, they pulled over a car trying to leave the scene. Police found a 29-year-old man inside the vehicle, shot. He was rushed to a nearby hospital. Police are also looking into a shooting that damaged a home on Echo Street early Friday morning. Investigators say a resident heard multiple gunshots outside the home. A bullet entered his bedroom. Officers were able to locate spent shell casings. If you have information on either shooting, contact Rockford PD or Crime Stoppers. Investigators in Freeport hope the public will help them locate the driver of this vehicle. It's a white Kia Optima with no front license plate. Officers say the driver was involved in several thefts at Cornerstone Credit Union last month. Anyone with information can call Freeport PD or State Line Area Crime Stoppers. Tips could mean a cash reward of up to $1,000. Illinois State Police report more than a dozen crashes during traffic stops in 2020. There have been 15 accidents so far this year, including one last night. ISP says an oncoming vehicle hit a trooper and another car. The officer was not hurt, but the other driver was taken to the hospital. The person who caused the crash faces charges, including failing to obey the move over law, also known as Scott's Law. Scott's Law says drivers must slow down and, if possible, move over when any vehicle is on the side of the road with its emergency or hazard lights on. Illinois health officials report more than 6,000 new coronavirus cases over the last 24 hours. That brings the Illinois total to over 726,000 positives since the pandemic began. An additional 85 lives were lost due to the virus. That includes an Ogle County woman in her 90s. The state death toll now stands at over 12,000. Governor J.B. Pritzker says Tier 3 mitigation efforts will stay in place for the next few weeks. The health department's waiting to see what kind of impact Thanksgiving gatherings have on the pandemic. More testing sites will be available across the state line this week. Health officials are set to host drive-through locations in Boone, Stevenson, and Ogle counties. The first opens tomorrow in Poplar Grove at North Boone Fire District 3. On Wednesday and Thursday, testing will take place at the Ogle County Health Department. Then Highland Community College will host a clinic this Friday and Saturday in Stevenson County. Temporary testing sites are open from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. The Winnebago County Health Department has named more than 100 businesses for not following mitigation rules. It's been a long year with restaurants and bars taking a hard hit. Michelle Rave checked in with a few as they wait for good news.
March was a long time ago. It's crazy to think that we've been into this for 8, pushing 9 months right now. But it's been an interesting ride for all local restaurant owners.
It's been a challenging journey for local restaurants and bars, the pandemic forcing them to make difficult cuts.
You know, pre-COVID, we had about 40 employees on our payroll. Right now we have 11. So a significant portion of our staff is no longer working for us right now just because we don't have jobs for them right now.
Ucha Cantina has had curbside service, but that wasn't enough, which is where Ranchero Pizza was born.
But it's all Latin-inspired pizza, and it's just a new way to say, you know, here's something interesting and fun for our guests, and try to keep it fresh for them.
If you don't adapt, you close.
Adapting is something Patrick Alberto has done for his downtown restaurant, Octane, doing whatever necessary to keep the restaurant open.
We initiated drive-up, dine-out about a couple months ago, where we asked the city if we could have the 6 parking spots in front of Octane across the street for curbside dining. It's for people. It's our own take on the 50s car hop take. Basically for people to park, order food, and eat and drink in the comfort of their own cars, with the server, going up and taking your orders.
There is light ahead with a potential vaccine and help in the form of grants.
The Rockford grants are actually due today. It's sitting on my desk literally before I leave the restaurant today. I'll fill out the rest of the application for the Rockford grant for $7,500.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
With Thanksgiving break over, some state line families started a new schooling schedule. Rockford Public Schools, Harlem, and Rochelle school districts are completely remote as of this morning. District administrators say they're following suggestions provided by local health departments to help keep students and staff safe. Meanwhile, after 2 weeks remote, Oregon schools plan on returning to in-person learning Wednesday. Freeport schools will resume in person December 7th. With almost 13.5 million confirmed cases in the U.S., the new coronavirus surge is not slowing down. But today, national health officials say we are one step closer to a vaccine. Drug maker Moderna announced its candidate has been submitted for FDA approval and could get the green light in as little as 2 weeks. The company says that vaccine's more than 94% effective, and there have been no long-term negative effects reported so far.
In terms of significant safety concerns, serious threats to our health, we've not seen any such concerns to date.
We're working very closely with the pharmaceutical companies to ensure and protect that supply chain and to ensure the American public are safe.
Vice President Mike Pence is speaking with nearly every U.S. governor Monday to help coordinate the first shipments of the vaccine. The military is also gearing up to help with the distribution process amid growing concerns about the safety of the supply chain. While the COVID-19 pandemic's caused problems across multiple industries, the local housing market continues to climb. Rockford area realtors say homes are selling within 30 days of hitting the market, and they're selling for over $13,000 more than this time last year, averaging just under $156,000. Connor Brown with Rockford Area Realtors says a lot of those buyers are moving to the state line from the Chicago suburbs.
A lot of these people that are coming from out of town typically have a connection. Maybe they grew up in the Rockford area and they just want to come back and settle down. And so this provides a wonderful opportunity for them to buy a lot of house for not as much money.
Brown says more than 500 homes sold last month alone. That's the highest monthly average since 2006. An international country star will soon give back to kids in the state line. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is expanding services to Winnebago and Ogle counties. The program sends books to readers in economically depressed neighborhoods. United Way of Rock River Valley is raising money to bring the library here. Organizers say reading is essential to the developing brain.
We know that there's something different about holding a book, looking at the pictures, understanding the way that the language goes, understanding how to turn pages. So it's really, really important for children's development and their reading skills for them to have books in their hands.
Parents can find the link to register their children on mystateline.com. Dolly's Imagination Library has delivered books to more than 2 million readers worldwide. A Rockford nonprofit is looking for volunteers to help get homeless men back on their feet this winter. Rockford Rescue Mission needs on-call male volunteers to oversee its nightly men's crisis center. As temperatures drop, organizers are expanding the sleeping area to take in more people seeking shelter. Volunteers will be asked to wear a mask and pass a COVID test. Shifts can be broken up into 6-hour blocks. Find the application to apply when you find this story on the My State Line mobile app. A State Line holiday tradition reports record numbers during its opening weekend. More than 14,000 people have toured the Festival of Lights at Sinisippi Park so far. Organizers say it's over 5,000 more visitors than last year's opening. The pandemic-safe attraction welcomed local families as well as some tourists from up to 200 miles away. Your next chance to see the display is this Friday from 5 in the afternoon to 11 at night. Congress returns to Washington with just 11 days to pass a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer finds some lawmakers believe Congress is spending too much as the country's debt continues to grow. She's keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
First text I get every morning.
Every day, West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin wakes up with this message.
The national debt, $26,769 billion.
Manchin says that growing number makes him concerned about what lies ahead for future generations.
I can't tell you that everything's hunky-dory. I don't know how you're going to handle this debt load.
Manchin and a group of bipartisan senators say they're working to tackle the debt crisis before it falls into millennials' laps.
We're now looking at, without question, the greatest generational transfer of money, certainly of debt in human history.
Weston Wham, founder of the Millennial Debt Foundation, is working with members of Congress and the nation's millennial business leaders to reduce the debt.
It's time to make tough decisions. This is not funny money.
This week, Congress is working to pass a $1.4 trillion spending bill to keep the government running, as well as consider annual military funding and another round of coronavirus relief. Manchin says all that spending matters.
I'm making people aware of the debt. I want people to know the debt.
With President-elect Joe Biden recently naming his economic team, the Millennial Debt Commission is now set to meet again just after inauguration as they work to keep Congress and the country on track. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Nice to see a little bit of clearing take place just as the sun is beginning to set this evening. A live look with our Merced Sky Track camera up in Beloit, Wisconsin. We look up to our north and to the northwest. Actually, beautiful sunset, but this is also going to set the stage for a rather chilly night tonight. The good news, the wind will be lessening a bit as we go through this evening, so it won't be quite as blustery as what we woke up to this morning. We were thick in the cloud cover here for much of the day today, but you can actually see as that drier air begins to move in, our sky is beginning to clear out. Now, with that cloud cover we had earlier this afternoon, actually had a couple of flurries kind of fly on and off through the morning and through the afternoon, all in response to a large area of low pressure out over the south and the southeast. But we actually had a little disturbance kind of working in on the backside of that low today. You can actually see that low, that big counterclockwise spin. This has brought some snow here to Indiana, Ohio, rain, severe weather along the east coast, but on the backside, little disturbance kind of rotating in, and that's why we were able to squeeze out whatever little moisture we had out there to provide us with a couple of flurries. 28 in Freeport, that's the same temperature. Our weather watcher Sandy in the Kirkland-Fairdale area checking in here says still we've got a breeze. 28 in Rochelle, feels like 17 though. 16 the wind chill factor now in DeKalb, and 16 degrees also our wind chill out in Galena. As I mentioned, our winds will begin to ease up, starting to see that take place this evening, especially to the north and to the west. So as high pressure continues to build in, this will allow that wind to ease up just a bit. Our temperature tonight, though, will drop down into the 20s, low 20s at that, down to 21 degrees. And with a little bit of a breeze, you'll still notice the wind chill tomorrow morning when you get up will be down in the teens. But we should see more sunshine tomorrow as high pressure continues to build in for us. In fact, we'll run Futurecast straight through because with little moisture in the air, that will allow us to keep our mostly clear sky through the day tomorrow. And that'll even continue into Wednesday, so this will help bump that temperature up a few more degrees each and every day. Now, by Wednesday night, we actually have another area of low pressure that'll be moving into the west, and this will pass down to our south. So what that'll do most likely is add in a little more cloud cover as we head through Wednesday as well as into Thursday. 35 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Again, not that far from where we typically are this time of year, more seasonable too, and a little less on that wind. Temperatures then warming into the 40s once we head towards Wednesday, 41 degrees. I did add in just a slight chance for a flurry or sprinkle on Thursday. Have to watch how far north that low pressure system gets, but we're kind of sandwiched between these two systems. We'll stay in the 40s as we head through Friday. A little bump in the number on Saturday, but really for this first week of December, meteorological winter, things actually not looking too bad. Eric?
At least in the rain or snow department. We know it could be colder, but those temps do not look all that warm. Candice, thanks. Scott's in next to talk sports. He has some thoughts of the train wreck we're witnessing from the Chicago Bears. Can Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy survive this season?
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Remember when the Bears were 5-1 and Matt Nagy was talking about all that matters is the results and not how ugly the games are? Well, he was half right. It is about the results, and the Bears haven't produced any positive ones since the middle of October. Now, there's no sugarcoating what we've seen during their 5-game losing streak. There certainly wasn't anything positive to point to last night when they were dominated by the Packers. Nagy never likes to publicly knock any of his players or assistant coaches, but the losing streak seems to be getting to him. He wasn't his usual upbeat self today during his Zoom conference with reporters.
Whatever it is, I know this. We better wake our tails up. Every freaking coach on the staff, every player better wake up and start understanding where we're at. Have some personal pride. Have a freaking sense of urgency. Know where we're at. Have some pride into who we're playing for and why we do this.
But it's good to see Nagy break character and show some fire. He's probably sensing his job is on the line. Being a nice guy, being positive, having a great locker room culture are all great things. But none of that matters much. In the NFL, again, it's all about the results, and we are not likely to see many positive ones until the Bears get a legitimately good NFL quarterback. And who knows when that'll happen. Certainly not this season. The blame has to start with Ryan Pace and Nagy. The McCaskies don't want to fire either one of those guys, but they might not have a choice come January. Well, the Packers aren't NFC North champs yet, but barring a major COVID outbreak on their roster, it's only a matter of time before they are. They're successfully transitioned through a coaching change. They've withstood key injuries, and they're getting positive results because they have number 12 at quarterback.
Interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've had a few flurries kind of on and off, and we'll see that for the next hour or two. But our skies, they'll continue to clear out as we go through this evening, leaving us with partly cloudy sky. Winds are also going to ease too, so we get rid of that blustery wind we had earlier today. Temperatures tonight down around 21, but the wind chills will still fall back into the teens. 35 for tomorrow afternoon. A little more sunshine for both Wednesday and Thursday. Could see a few more clouds as we head towards Thursday afternoon, and just a slight chance of a flurry or two, but our temperatures actually staying just a little bit above average.
Dropping that wind will help just a little bit. Candice, thanks, and thank you for spending time with us. Stay safe.